Yo. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann here on ON, AM, and FM. It's Thursday morning. It's December 8th, 2022. Thanks for joining us. My name is Joe Callahan, and I really should have taken a look at my notes a little earlier. I kept mentioning how Bob Lauder was going to be here, and according to my notes, Bob Lauder will not be here. He told me last week that he wasn't going to be able to make it. So I'm like, oh, that's right. So Bob Lauder's not here. Hopefully we'll have Bob here next week on the Coffee Ann program. We're waiting for Emily Haining-Sheehan to arrive, and we're also expecting Romeo Berthium to be joining us as well. Our first segment sponsor is The Call newspaper. Do you have an upcoming event or newsworthy item that you feel your local daily newspaper should cover? Just email us at notices@woonsocketcall.com. That's notices@woonsocketcall.com, or call us today at 767-8550. With over 50,000 local readers in print and online, The Call and woonsocketcall.com is your trusted daily local news source for important local news and happenings. Again, that number is 767-8550. The email address, notices@woonsocketcall.com. The Call and woonsocketcall.com, your daily local information source for the news you want to know. Coffee Ann here on ON Radio, and joining me at the Coffee Ann table, we'll say good morning to Emily Haining-Sheehan from The Call. Hi,
Good
Em.
morning. There was a pickup truck on...
Where?
It was literally just stuck in the middle of the railroad tracks.
Which, where, on what street?
On going from River to
South Main? Okay. That's always a good time.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm like, what are you doing?
Did he eventually move?
Yeah, he
the truck?
eventually moved.
Okay.
But that's why I didn't do the first announcement.
Because she just got here. You'll do the second one.
Yes,
no problem
I will.
there.
Yes, I will.
All right. And like I mentioned, Bob Lauder's not going to be here, which is okay, because the first thing we're going to bring up, Bob would have no interest in it anyway.
Exactly.
It's because being a New England sports fan, yesterday was kind of a double whammy. Aaron Judge re-signs with the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
9 years, $360 million.
Which is insane.
Like, wow. And Xander Bogaerts leaves
I know.
and goes to San Diego. He gets 11 years, $280 million.
Which, you know what? Good for him.
Well,
He's very talented.
show
but
me the money.
I know.
And they showed him the money.
And they did.
And it's just...
My mother's going to be heartbroken.
It's remarkable because Xander is 30 years old.
Yeah,
And they gave him an 11-year contract.
I know.
Do the math, he'll be 41 at the end of the contract. Now,
Yeah.
baseball players are known for their peak abilities, Major League Baseball, peak at about 28.
Exactly.
And they're 28 to 32, 33 is where they're good years.
Yeah.
And then you start to decline. It just happens.
Yeah,
you're a little
mean,
slower with the bat speed.
exactly.
You can't reach as far as you used to.
is probable.
Yes.
So,
but now it'll be and the great deal with the Major League Baseball contracts is that they're guaranteed.
Yeah.
So he just gets paid no matter what. So
Exactly.
he'll do well out there in San Diego. But it just goes to show you
Yeah.
that you cannot trust professional baseball teams when they're talking about contracts with their players.
Yeah.
Because all I ever heard was from the Red Sox, he's our top priority.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
doing everything we can to re-sign him. We want him here. Well, no, you don't.
Yeah. And you know what? And that is just, it's such a pattern because look at all the other greats that were with the Red Sox that, either they couldn't, come to an agreement on, whether it was money or it's just, and it's always with the Yankees.
I know. Because I thought for sure.
It's always.
Oh, Aaron Judge is leaving. He's going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
This is a done deal.
Yeah.
Get him out of the American League.
Yep,
Great.
exactly.
And no.
No.
And now he's back to haunt us
Yes.
some more.
Yes,
I'm like,
exactly. Exactly.
But anyway, so now we always know when things like this happen, there's always stuff that's going on in the front office We have no idea what's going on.
Oh, exactly.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
So
So,
maybe the Red Sox know something that we don't. Maybe they know something about his health or whatever. And because from what I've read, not only were the Red Sox not in second place, they were like the 6th team down. And there was just no way they were going to give this guy, Xander, anywhere close to an 11-year contract when you're 30 years old. That is just not happening.
No.
They said, or Xander says, or his people say, well, we went to the Red Sox, and this is the deal we're getting from San Diego. Do you want to come close? And they just never did. And it's like, there's no way it's going to be an 11-year deal. Maybe it was 5. I don't know what they even offered.
I mean,
it's just no.
Who knows? And, nobody can, foresee. Look at, perfect example. We spent so much money on Chris Sale.
Yeah. He's pitched what? 10 innings?
Yeah. And, he just did not, he performed great before he came.
Yeah.
And then he just plummeted.
Well,
once he got to the Red Sox. So, I mean, I don't know if it's kind of, from history's past that they're being cautious.
Maybe.
But it's, my mother is a huge Bogart fan.
Oh, I was a big X-Man fan.
Yeah.
But look, but maybe you could see the writing on the wall last year, because the Red Sox last year went and signed a shortstop. And I wish I could remember his name, and I'm lousy at this.
Yeah.
And they said, well, it's not a big deal because we moved him to second base. And Xander will stay our shortstop. And they did. And I wish I could remember his name. Well, now what's going to happen? Well, let's move this guy back. So we have a built-in shortstop already, ready to go. And then we'll find someone else to move into second place, but second base, I should say. But so they had their contingency plan all ready to go.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, will they now focus on Rafael Devers and try to keep him around, kind of thing?
Because I mean, he's
baseman.
He's been around, for a while now.
Yeah.
And it's the thing of leadership as well.
Yeah.
So, captains, the longevity of the players playing for the Red Sox, and not just kind of a revolving door type of situation. I know, we had some rebuilding years, and, we're always having rebuilding years. In the last probably 10 years, we've had rebuilding years. But we got to make smarter decisions.
Okay. Well,
And get in the game. Pun intended.
They just signed some pitcher, and they just signed some star from Japan who's supposedly the best hitter over there, which doesn't always translate to being the best hitter here. But we're rolling the dice on this. You never know. Maybe he's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. Now when stuff like this happens, I always pat myself on the back because I'm always glad because now this is my opinion, and you can do whatever you want. Okay.
Okay.
But when things like this happen, it reminds me, I'm so glad I don't own Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics merchandise with a player's name on the back. And so all the major league teams, they all want to sell merchandise. They all want to sell jerseys.
Yes.
And so how many Boston Red Sox Xander Bogart jerseys are out there? A lot.
A lot, yeah.
So my ruling, the rule I go by is if I'm going to buy a player's jersey, it's always after he's retired, at least for a little while.
Well, that's
therefore, if I wear a number 33 Boston Celtics shirt, it's Larry Bird. It's always going to be Larry Bird.
It's always going to be.
He's never played for anybody else.
No.
It's always Larry Bird.
Yeah.
So and there's a ton of Tom Brady New England Patriots jerseys out there.
Oh, sure.
A ton.
And Gronk too.
And Gronkowski.
I mean, I have.
And where are they now?
Well, I have a signed Gronk jersey.
Oh, well, hang on. Don't wear that.
Oh, no. It's authenticated.
Wow.
And, have the certificate, and it's, nicely tucked away for a rainy day to, sell eventually. But, I have, perfect example. Nomar Garciaparra.
Yep.
He was an unbelievable Red Sox player.
Great Red Sox player.
And I still have baseball cap. Mm-hmm. Number 5. but it just says number 5.
Okay.
And, I got it, while he played for, the Red Sox, and I still have it.
Well, that's fine because no one remembers that he went to Chicago.
Exactly.
And then he went somewhere else.
And then he went somewhere else.
And then he retired.
And then he retired.
So that's okay because he's retired now.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. But no, I understand where you're coming from. I think it's the older generation is, I think, more apt to do that, and it's the younger generation that is more apt to get the jerseys and buy
Oh yeah,
the
we're gonna have this
jerseys and
now.
things that.
Because I look at
yeah.
last year for the New England Patriots, Mac Jones was the star. He was the second coming of Tom Brady, and Mac Jones jerseys number 10 were flying out of the store. Well, you don't see too many people wearing their Mac Jones jerseys anymore. Yet the team gets their money. So
Exactly.
you just gotta.
Either way, they're making money.
Well, that's right. And I look at my wife and daughter and who love the Bruins, and they have their Patrice Bergeron and their Brad Marchand jerseys, and okay, everything's still fine, and it looks like Patrice at least will retire as a Bruin.
Yes.
But now's the time to go buy a Zdeno Chara jersey because he ended his career with the Bruins, even though he played with other teams. But now's the time you got to get that. So hang on to those Xander Bogaerts Boston Red Sox jerseys. Maybe they'll be worth something.
And you never know. He could come back. I mean, it's not unheard of.
No.
That, people do go away from the Red Sox and then eventually do come back because they want to end their, career with the Red Sox or whatever, New England team there is. Mm-hmm. So that is always a possibility.
We did a note that was called in, 766-1240. See if you agree with this, Em. To the panel, the Red Sox better keep Rafael Devers because there goes the franchise if he goes to another team. And there go the fans, too.
No,
which is
true.
That will be a whole starting over.
Oh, yeah, that would be a whole
thing.
Overhaul.
Yep.
I agree.
That'll be
I agree.
A few years of that. It's funny because I saw online about this and how it came down to the money. We don't have enough money to pay Xander Bogaerts because we're playing Chris Sale, but they put in in his name is Chris Frail. Now I know it's a lot of bad luck. He was on the mound and got hit with a line drive in the hand and broke his hand, fingers, or bones, whatever. Okay, it's bad luck, but it's always something.
It's always
it's
something.
Another thing where you're hurt again and again
and the
again.
thing is, as a pitcher, time is against you.
Yeah. You only have so much time.
You only have so much time before, your arm can only throw so many pitches.
And not everybody is a Tim Wakefield.
Exactly.
Who threw knuckleballs at 70 miles an hour.
I know.
And that extended his career by at least 5 years.
Oh, absolutely. He was the best knuckleballer in history, as far as I'm concerned.
Not everybody can throw that. So
no.
If you're at Chris Sales,
if you're
is
more
the fastball.
Exactly.
So.
And fastball, I mean, come on.
You only have so much
You
power.
only have so much power
in your arm.
For a game, never mind the longevity of being a player and having a contract and injuries and just age in general.
So I'm sure you'll hear from Chaim Bloom today doing the usual spin. Well, we tried our best, and we thought we gave him the best offer we could give him, but he went somewhere else, and this is San Diego shelling out this money. It's the longest contract for a player that's 30 or over.
Yeah.
So they've made history. So best of luck. They're trying to buy a championship, I guess, right away. So
we'll
see how things go out there for
when
them.
you think about it, I mean, when you think about the big baseball teams, and this is just for baseball, it's always been the Yankees have the most money to give to players. Mm-hmm. So you know what? On the flip side, it's unfortunate that he's not going to be playing for us. At least
he's in the National League.
But at least he's, on the West Coast, and
maybe we'll see him once.
Yes. And it's I wish him all the best.
I know. I hope you become a big star out there.
Yeah.
From what I've heard before, and it's players never learn because they go for the money. Things are different on the West Coast.
Yes.
Than here, and I've heard that from other athletes that have made the move, and they go between like Boston and New York and Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and to Chicago to some extent, and Detroit. These are the real sports towns, okay?
True.
And the passion is there. And you can tell by especially the Red Sox, because they're really the New England Red Sox, because reporters from Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire, not sure about Vermont, they all come and cover it. And there's always 20 reporters, maybe more. You go, and I heard this from a Boston Red Sox player. They went out to San Diego, too. One reporter, and that was it.
That's it.
And the passion of the fans, well, it's nice, and we have a team, and that's great, but it's not.
But
it's
it doesn't
not like
fill
the
a stadium.
intensity.
It does not fill a stadium. I've been to a San Diego game.
And where's the sushi?
and don't get me wrong, it's a gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's right on the water.
Right on the water. It's a gorgeous facility, but I don't even think when I went, and this was many years ago, I was out on the West Coast for business, and we're like, oh hey, you want to catch a game? It's like, yeah, sure. And I don't think the stadium was even half full.
Yeah,
and it's a big stadium. But we've always, obviously, the East Coast is known for baseball. Our history is from the East Coast, and the ball fields are smaller. They're more intimate.
Yeah, the fans are right on top of the players.
Yeah, and it's an electric feeling.
Right.
I think when you get into the larger stadiums, there's almost like a kind of coldness to it, and they go for other sports before they would go for baseball.
All right, we can take a break here in the Coffee and program right now. So Em is here, so we're going to allow her to give her second message from the Call newspaper.
Yes, good morning, everyone. The holidays are fast approaching, and our gift idea of the day is available until the 24th of December. So if you are interested in promoting your business, if you're having a sale, if you want to do a special giveaway, also gift cards, you can promote on the bottom strip of the front page. It's a 6x3 for $150 a day, or if you want to do multiple days, it is discounted to $100 a day, and you can do this in the Woonsocket Call and the Pawtucket Times. So if you are interested and want to learn more information about this special promotion, you can give me a call at 401-767-8500.
All right, Em, thank you. And more of the Coffee and program coming your way. 766-1240 for comments and questions can be called in. The purchase of a new vacuum cleaner or sewing machine is an important decision. Don't leave this decision up to the big box stores. Go see the experts at Marion Sew & Vac in Bellingham. They carry the top-of-the-line Miele and Sebo bagless vacuum cleaners. Both use hospital-grade filtration to remove 99.9% of dirt and dust. Marion Sew & Vac carries the Juki sewing machine. That's perfect for not only sewing, but also embroidery. Also, Marion Sew & Vac can repair your old vacuum cleaner and sewing machine. Stop in today to Marion Sew & Vac, 234 Pulaski Boulevard, Bellingham. They're open Tuesday through Saturday at 10 a.m.
John Chan of Chan's Fine Oriental Dining in Woonsocket wants to thank you all for once again voting them Best Chinese Restaurant and Best Entertainment in the Woonsocket Call Reader's Choice Survey. Chan's is open every day at 3 p.m. for dine-in, takeout, entertainment, and, of course, you can enjoy their Horseshoe Bar Lounge and karaoke Friday nights from 8 to 11. Call Chan's today for takeout or reservations, 765-1900. Chan's is open at 267 Main Street in Woonsocket.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with RE/MAX Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first. And he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
It's Coffee In here on ON Radio. Joe Callahan here with Emily Haining-Sheen from The Call. Bob Lotta could not be with us today, and we're expecting Romeo Bertham to join us. And Em, you want to give us that Scott McGee phone number one more time?
Sure, in my Brenda Ficcaro voice today. 401-639-2906.
One more time?
401-639-2906.
See, you're like Phoebe from Friends, who sang better when she had a cold. I just thought that was funny. But you sound good either way.
No,
right? Yes,
thank you.
do. All right.
Thank you. Yeah, my singing voice is, not as, but I'm, at least, Phoebe, Smelly Cat.
The
Come
Smelly
on.
Cat, that's right. All right. Just keeping it on the Red Sox for one more minute here. Major League Baseball says that Fenway Park wants to host the All-Star Game
I think that would be awesome.
in either 2025 or 2027. Boston Globe reports the Red Sox have been lobbying hard to get the game. The Fenway Park last hosted the All-Star Game in 1999.
Yeah,
That was
I
all-
think
that
I
was
think
the
it would.
last time, so
Yeah,
they
I think
wanna
it
do
would be
again.
amazing.
So let's see if they can get it done. That would be pretty cool.
That would.
So it's up to obviously up to Major League Baseball. In case you
Yes.
haven't heard, the new restaurant in Woonsocket, where the Pizza Hut used to be, is going to be called Fuji Sushi. Do you know when they might open? Have you heard?
I do not. There's been some buzz around town, but I love some good sushi, so I'm looking forward to it.
They say they offer quality Japanese and fusion food.
Ooh.
What is fusion food?
So it's a combination of, Japanese, Chinese, American, kind of like a flair. So it might be a little more not your typical sushi. They might have, more exotic
Okay.
sushi. So that would be the fusion.
Are you that adventurous? Would you try something like that?
I would.
Yeah.
I've had eel. I've had.
Have you?
Yes, I've had
Wow.
shark. I've had
I hear shark is very good for you.
it. Yes, and yellowfin. Tuna. I'll have the tuna rolls and
Okay.
the salmon rolls. And it's funny. I do not like cooked salmon, but I will
But
eat
raw salmon?
raw salmon.
Wow.
I don't
I
know.
don't like salmon either.
I am not a salmon person, but I will eat it in sushi. Go figure.
That's odd.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
but
so look
there's a lot of great restaurants.
Yeah.
In Woonsocket, and it's great to keep on seeing different types of restaurants. So there's more of a variety. For the community. There's always going to be your staple fast food,
Sure.
chains and things like that. But it's always nice to have a new local spot to go to.
And these people seem to have a lot of experience with Asian food. They own restaurants in Massachusetts, in North Attleboro, and in Walpole, and in Norwood.
Oh, that's great.
They know what they're doing, and our city council voted to give them their liquor license unanimously, so they're getting good to go. But we don't have a date that they're going to open, so I know they're still working down there on it. So look for it, soon.
Yeah,
So there we
hopefully,
go.
by the beginning of 2023, which
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying 2023.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh,
now,
goes by fast.
keeping it on the restaurant theme, Bertucci's restaurant filed for bankruptcy again.
Yeah.
And they closed a lot of stores in Massachusetts, Beverly, Brockton, Canton, Marlborough, and in North Attleboro.
Oh, so they did close the one at Emerald Square.
Yep, and I can see why the lack of people at Emerald Square Mall
Yeah,
must
yeah.
have really cut into their sales, and the rent cannot be cheap there.
No.
It's been a number of restaurants over since it opened a long time ago, but yeah, they said no.
Oh, that's too bad.
But
That's-
in the town I live in, there's a Bertucci's, and yay, they stayed open.
yeah,
so,
the Bertucci's in Mansfield.
yep.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they got great rolls.
They do.
They
And
just taste
is
so
the
good.
Bertucci's now? This is my question.
All right.
The Bertucci's in Warwick,
That
near
stayed
the
open.
airport. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's still open. But I
Yep.
think that might be the only
I think that's the only one in Rhode Island.
one in Rhode Island.
There's only one now in New Hampshire, and then there's a bunch of others up and down the East Coast.
and Bertucci's actually is
Started in Mass.
Yeah, it is the corporate office is in Massachusetts.
Oh,
That's-
then they were sold. So I think
Yes.
they moved to Florida for
Yeah.
their home office now.
Yeah.
But Bertucci's in North Attleboro. That's the closest one here to Woonsocket.
I will say
It's
that
closed.
the rolls, yeah,
They're tasty.
very tasty. And you know what? It was consistent.
Yes.
Very consistent
Mm-hmm,
food, you know, and that's the thing about, you know, whether it's a chain or a local. If it's inconsistent,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get the business that you think you're gonna get.
I think the last time I was there, I was picking up a couple of pizzas, and they said, "Do you want rolls?" And I'm starting to hem and haw about it, and they said, "Well, it's free." Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah,
why
sure.
why are you even asking me?
Yeah,
Just-
exactly.
here, just take them. Oh, okay, great. All right, so that's what's going on with Bertucci's there. We had an accident in the city of Woonsocket a couple of days ago over there near on South Main Street, near Market Square. 50-year-old man suffered serious head injuries. He was taken to Rhode Island Hospital on Tuesday. The driver of the car remained at the scene, was reportedly cooperating with police. So no word on whether or not any charges have been filed against the driver there. So that's a kind of a sad situation that happened over there.
is.
And
It is.
I'm always very careful to hit the button and get my at the crosswalk.
Oh yes.
Because I walk across the Market Square parking lot to get to River Falls, and I am not taking my chances.
No,
And running the light- running against the light.
and that's the thing. You know, we have these up in the city for a reason.
Yeah.
And to use them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm glad that they're putting more up, you know, that they've, you know, on actual Main Street, you know, before
Mm-hmm.
for New York lunch. They have, you know, kind of the flashing
flashing
lights,
yellows, yeah.
you know, the flashing yellows.
It's funny because we had Chief Tom Oates on here last week, and
Yes.
when we brought this up, and I said, it's great to have them, but it's more often than not people don't use them.
Yeah.
I go, Chief, it drives me crazy. So it must be driving you crazy.
Yeah.
You put these things in, and people still just step out into the crosswalk. They think you're to stop,
Yeah.
and they don't
And
use
I
the
mean,
lights. I'm
you
like,
know, it's that time of year that, I mean, yes, as New Englanders, we're always
In a hurry.
We're always in a hurry. But it seems like during
all
the
about me.
during the holidays, it seems like we're even more in a hurry.
Yeah.
Because you know there's a time crunch with getting somewhere, or you know, getting shopping done, or you know, what have you. And you know, it's just it's we need to be aware of our surroundings. And
I'm a lot more aware when I'm
know?
driving because I just know people. It's 50% shot, 50%
Oh,
chance
yeah.
whether or not people are hitting those lights. So if you see someone nearby, I'm slowing down
I do too.
because I think
do
they're just
too.
going to step out, and if they see
You
you,
never
stop,
know.
they're going to go. So just something to be aware of when you're crossing the streets
Yes.
here in the city of Woonsocket. I didn't realize this has become such an event down at the State House, but the homeless people are camping out in tents on the grounds
Yes.
of the State House, and now state police have had enough.
Yeah.
And they
yeah,
said,
they said
"You
that they need
get
to
out."
Yeah, by today.
Yep. Let's see. They've been ordered to leave the grounds by 9 tomorrow, 9 a.m. Friday.
Yeah.
The governor's office, Dan McKee, says that those affected are being offered a bed and transportation to a shelter
Yes.
at the Cranston Street Armory in Providence. I wonder if
Which-
there are enough beds
and
there for
that's,
everybody.
you know, and that's another thing, you know, during you know, this time of year, any time of year, we need to be aware of the, you know, the homeless population and the people that are in need, and you know, whether it's fundraising. The Salvation Army always does a great job with their, fundraising during this time of year. The Milk Fund, we do, our fundraising during this time of year for the, city of Woonsocket. But if you can, help donate to these shelters so they could either get more beds or even expand somehow, or the state could have enough financial, stability to purchase more buildings for housing, because it's has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? I'm not aware of if it's gotten worse or better in the state, but we've always had this issue, and I wish it wasn't so, but it is.
Look what's happening. I guess you could say it's Clinton Street. It's down behind the Verizon building, the Verizon Central Office building, right along the river.
Yeah, right along the river.
There's a bunch of tents there. I'm like, hey, I just noticed it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. I said, this seems to be growing. And I guess, I'm sure the city's aware of it. I'm sure the police are aware of it, and they just let them go. Okay. We take a break here on the Coffee and program. It's time for the weather forecast, and that's being brought to you by the Ad Council.
Sunny skies today with a high of 50 degrees and a breeze in the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 28. Friday's weather, sunny with a high of 44. Saturday, partly sunny with a high of 36. Sunday, a 30% chance of snow, cloudy skies, and 36. Sunday night, a 40% chance of snow, mostly cloudy, 27. Monday, leftover snow in the morning, mostly sunny with a high of 36 later in the day. Tuesday, sunny with a high of 38, and Wednesday, mostly sunny and 40.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, sunny skies, and temperature has risen to 47 degrees. Okay, dads, it's time to do the Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, or something more contemporary, the Floss. That's right, dance like a dad with your kids. Learn more at fatherhood.gov, sponsored by the Ad Council.
Getting ready to do some holiday shopping? Before you take your business to merchants in another town, take time to consider the hidden costs. Every dollar you spend with an out-of-town store is a dollar that won't help to maintain your streets and sidewalks, won't help to improve your school or hospital district. That's because every dollar you spend with an out-of-town merchant goes to work in his community, not yours. This holiday season, please remember the hidden costs of giving your business to out-of-town stores. Then invest in your own future and put your dollar to work here at home.
One of our great hometown merchants is Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street, Woonsocket.
It's always a good time of year to shop at the Honey Shop at Park Square, Woonsocket, but now's the best time with special events all month long. This Sunday, November 11th, join us for a class in making cranberry sauce and farmhouse cranberry cheddar. If you're looking for some amazing gifts at affordable prices, stop by the Honey Shop. The shop is packed with hostess gifts, teachers' gifts, handcrafted jewelry, charcuterie boards with cheeses, sausage, crackers, dips and soup mixes, gift boxes with hot sauces, salsas, or barbecue sauce, body care products like lavender bath soak ornaments, seasonal fragranced items, essential and fragrance oils. They also have Himalayan salt lamps, chakra sage smudges, and holiday ornaments, customizable gift baskets and boxes. Stop by for affordably priced, locally crafted gifts at the Honey Shop, 1300 Park Avenue, Woonsocket, 766-1488. Hi, everybody. This is Dave Richards, and among the items we'll put up for bid on the Thursday Milk Fund radio auction are a simply relaxing, vibrating foot massager, a pair of warm and comfy slipper socks from Pepin, a set of 16 glass coasters, and a glass cutting board, plus gift cards from IHOP, Al's Place, New York Lunch, and Executive Auto Wash. So join me, Joe Callahan, and our special guest auctioneer, Rhode Island State Senator Roger Pickard, for all the fun on the Thursday Milk Fund radio auction from 4 to 5 p.m. here and only on ON Radio.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee and here on ON, and yes, please join us for the Milk Fund auction this afternoon from 4 to 5. This is Joe Callahan here with M from the Call, and attorney Bob Lauder could not be with us today, but he does sponsor this segment of the Coffee and program, so we're going to get a message now from attorney Bob Lauder. The Tiki Bar is sponsored by Robert Hope Lauder, attorney at law. He's not the son of a sailor. He's never been at sea for adventure, but he has dozens of books about heroes and crooks, and he knows how to resolve an indenture. He doesn't have a pencil-thin mustache of the Boston Blackie kind. He gave away his two-tone Ricky Ricardo sport jacket and lost his autographed picture of Andy Devine. If you'd like to discuss legal issues with Bob, please give him a call at 401-762-4550. 401-762-4550. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. All right, thanks, Bob, and for being our sponsor of this portion of the Coffee and program. And the Time Magazine has come out with their Man of the Year for 2022. Did you hear who it was?
Yes, I did.
All right, in case you haven't heard, it's President of Ukraine. How do you say his first name? I know it's Zelensky.
Zelensky.
Yeah, it's like Voldemort. No, it's Voldemyron or something along those lines. But everybody just knows him as President Zelensky. Is the Time Magazine
but it's
Man
also
of the Year.
But it's also Ukraine, the people of Ukraine as
Yes.
well. They were incorporated, in this great honor,
Mm-hmm.
and there were a lot of great nominees.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one, piece that I think is not talked about as much in the media as it was before when it first started. And there's a lot of turmoil still overseas in the Ukraine.
We just had it on our news. Putin is just doubling down on his efforts. He's not leaving. He's not pulling any troops out at all.
He's not. That was this morning that news came out. But it's an awful situation. It affects many of us. It affects many of us in the community of Woonsocket. And support is needed. Anything that you can do, and just be aware, because it's not just we're the United States, we're the home of the free and things like that. But there are so many other countries in the world that fight as hard as we do for their freedom. And
that's right.
And I think we still need to we can learn from each other when it comes to, situations, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
All right. A new report's out on a different note. New report out says that, see if you agree with this, Em, Massachusetts is one of the worst states in the country for highway and road safety.
Yes.
Now, not driving, just safety.
Yes.
It ranks in the bottom 10.
Yes.
According to
I agree.
Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety. The report notes that Massachusetts' low score for seatbelt enforcement.
Really? That's surprising.
That is surprising. You would think that would be on the police to do that.
Yeah.
And it also cites Massachusetts does not require ignition locks for convicted drunk drivers. Others do, where you got to blow into
I did
the
not know that
breathalyzer
either.
thing before you can start the car.
Yeah, I did not know that either.
Mass says, we don't have to deal. We don't want to deal with that. So.
And I will say, it's just my opinion, but I think Massachusetts have some of the worst drivers as well.
See? Now, I disagree. I think Massachusetts has some of the best drivers in the country because for years I was part of the Southeast Expressway craziness in the morning, all right? And if you've never driven it, it's just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But,
it is. You take your life at
you
your own risk.
But because I thought about this, I go, there should be a 9-car accident every morning on this road. And there isn't. No. Which just goes to, I think just proves that we're actually, the mass drivers are actually pretty good. Or at least they're aware. And I'm telling you, more times than not, if you know where the 93 Route 3 split is in Braintree, and I've seen people right before you take that left corner, they're in the left lane, they cut over to the
all
right.
the way over to the
like,
right. I know.
My God.
And you literally hold your breath.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
and I'm like, and they don't hit anybody, and no one hits them. I'm like, it's like, well, we're ready because someone's going to do it. Not every day, but and they, oh no, I got to be on Route 3 going south because I'm going to the Cape. I'm in the wrong lane. I'll just cut across, and they do it, and then I'm like, oh boy.
Same thing with Same thing with where 24. 24 is one of the worst
24
roads.
I agree. Is one of the worst
It's
highways
one of the
going.
worst highways, and before, my profession in newspaper and all that good stuff, I was a road warrior, and I used to travel 24 and go into Boston a lot. And
Yeah, people always think, sometimes it'll be easier if I go up 24.
no,
and it's not. It's worse.
No, it's worse. It's like abort.
24 is the only place I saw someone driving the wrong way on the highway
I've seen that as well.
in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day.
Not
Yeah.
at nighttime.
No. No.
I was in the middle lane, and they passed me in the high-speed lane going in the wrong direction. I said,
Yeah.
how did you pull this off?
Yeah.
How do you not know you're not going in the wrong direction? A little later, the next day, there was a crash at 24, about a mile down from where I was.
And you know what? And usually there's at least one accident a day. It
on
seems,
24.
On 24.
And it's always so funny. One accident, 24, 93, 3, that's it. The whole state shuts down.
Yeah.
Just everything just stops.
Well, the thing is that there's more people on
on
the
those
roads.
Yeah.
More people have, not just one car anymore in, in the home. There's multiple cars, and our infrastructure of roadways it's antiquated.
Yeah.
It's antiquated. We try. I mean, we can't be like L.A. in the expressway and have 8 lanes. All going the one way.
So I'm
We
happy
don't
about
have
that.
the room.
Yeah. If there's an accident on 295 in Rhode Island, it doesn't really affect what's happening on 95. So,
No.
for the most part, anyway.
For the most part.
But if something happens on the Route 6 or Route 10, that's it.
That's it.
Shut everything down on 95.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we need to get Em's opinion on this. She may want to give it, she may not.
Okay.
I don't know if this affects you
I'm
in
ready.
any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
However, Massachusetts Attorney General and current Governor-elect Maura Healey, she's approved a bylaw. This is going to allow women to go topless at all beaches on Nantucket Island. All right. Voters had approved an article at a town meeting last May. The AG's office ruled the town has the authority to choose what activities it will allow on its beaches that are not in clear conflict with the Constitution or the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So, that'll be this summer, I guess. I guess you could go now, but it's a little chilly on the beach.
All power to you.
These kind of measures are usually put forth by women who this is what they want. They say we don't understand why the men get to do this and why
Exactly.
we don't, and why and certainly why is it an arrestable offense? kind of
exactly.
thing. But it's funny. I've talked to other women about this, and I said, well, would you try this? And they all say, yeah, I think I would. But then I talked to another woman who actually, when push came to shove, didn't. And it wasn't around here. She was on her honeymoon with her husband, and somewhere in Jamaica or wherever it was, walking along, and they came across the topless beach, and they talked about it. And she goes, "I'm thinking of doing it." And he was like, "Well, it's do what you want to do."
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. But she just thought about it more and more, and forget it.
Yeah, I
kind of
mean,
thing.
hey, all power to anybody who wants to do it, who
And I just wonder if it'll increase the amount of tourists to Nantucket this summer, to the beaches there, to try to get an eyeful.
it may.
It might.
It really may, but that brings in more money for the
More money for the
island
shops,
of
that's right.
Nantucket. So I mean, it kind of seems like a win-win.
We'll see if
But
that
I mean,
picks
hey,
up.
I'm all for
Equality.
equality and liberating, and it was how I was raised, and it's just obviously it's just my opinion.
I wonder if it will go to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
And then will it
Block
spread?
Island.
Well, that's Rhode Island.
Well, true.
If we just keep it in Mass for a minute,
Just, yeah.
Martha's Vineyard, then up to the Cape, and
Yeah.
then will the other towns want to do this?
never
I don't know.
Yeah, you
I mean,
never
I've already heard of places where the unofficial places. There's one out in Provincetown I've always heard about.
Yes. Yep. I
And it's
have
just the police just look the other way. You're not causing a ruckus. And they'll leave
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's looting or
No.
there's,
they're just laying there out in getting sun.
just getting
So
sun.
we'll see if it moves on in mass. And I've thought there was an unofficial one on Block Island too, but I'm not positive about that one either.
No.
So anyway, Romeo Bertham has joined us here at the Coffee and program, and good morning to you there, Romeo.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here with us. Speak up a little, Romeo.
Oh, good morning.
There you are. Very, very good. All right, we're going to get to Romeo in just a
Yeah.
minute of why he has to come in on this Thursday. But first, it's time for a break, and this message from attorney Bob Lauder, our sponsor for this portion of Coffee In. The Tiki Bar is sponsored by Robert Hope Lauder, attorney at law. He can't solve mysteries anyhow, though he's a whiz at the game of Clue. But if you're seeking good legal advice, it's worthwhile having him talking with you. So if you have questions about estates or trust or dissolution of marriages when love turns to dust, then good legal counsel is surely a must. If you'd like to discuss legal issues with Bob, please give him a call at 401-762-4550, 762-4550. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love. You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate. Here's a friendly reminder, your holiday dessert favorites need to be ordered today at Wright's Dairy Farm and Bakery. Christmas orders need to be in by December 15th. Bûche de Noël, cookie platters, chocolate cream pie, and the always delicious farm fresh eggnog available in a commemorative glass bottle, plus so much more wonderful items can be ordered at their website, WrightsDairyFarm.com. Wright's Dairy Farm and Bakery thanks all their customers for their continued patronage and wish you all a happy holiday season.
Christmas in New York. The Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts is hosting a bus trip to New York City on Saturday, December 17th. We'll get you to New York, and the day is yours. See the sights, visit a museum, see a show, whatever you like, the day is yours. Tickets are $90, and the bus will leave from the St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center parking lot at 6:30 a.m. For more information or to reserve your seats, call Dominic at 401-447-0823.
Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with M from the Call, and we're being joined by Romeo Berthum as well. And Romeo's got his Milk Fund Auction Committee hat on for us today, right, Romeo?
Yes, I do. Thank you for having me. We're doing great. As you know, Joe, you and Dave doing a fine job with your guest auctioneers every afternoon from 4 to 5. And we are very grateful. And you are doing so well that we are in need of a little bit more help with gift cards. And the way we're doing that is we're asking people to make a donation to the Milk Fund by writing out a check to Milk Fund Incorporated, and on the memo line, just put Milk Fund Auction, or just put auction.
Mm-hmm.
And what we'll do with those is we'll deposit them, and then we'll get the money, and we'll go out and buy more gift cards. They're very, very popular.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned when I was on Coffee Ann last Monday, this year, because of inflation, we're getting $10 gift cards. In the past, we've had fives, but you know, $5 is not going to get you much at Dunkin' Donuts. It might get you a cup of coffee.
One coffee.
and-
Yeah, one coffee.
You're lucky on a good day, a donut or whatever. So, anyway, we're asking people, and also merchants. Merchants can just send the gift cards to 985 Park Avenue here in Woonsocket. But we're asking our listeners, and we're asking anybody who's interested to send us money, not for us, but so that we can go out and purchase more gift cards. We are doing so well.
And the gift cards that we do have
Yeah.
are usually selling for face value.
Yes, they are.
And sometimes over. So,
Yeah, and when they're donated, it's all money for the
Yeah.
Milk Fund. And of course, this year, as you know, you've been hearing it daily, there's a $60,000
There's a goal.
goal.
Yes, there is.
And the auction is a good part of that fundraiser, you know, and it gives us a chance to publicize the events that are going on. For example, a nice segue here. Tonight,
But before you get to that,
Yeah.
M, it's 10 of.
Yes,
I don't wanna make
have
you late.
Yeah, I do have to leave early. I have
Meetings.
three more meetings.
you have
She's
a,
an important lady,
you have
Romeo.
a day job.
I do, but you know, support the Milk Fund. You know, I'm honored to be on the board for the Milk Fund,
Oh, that's
and
great.
you know, it's a great cause, and
Yeah.
you know, we always love supporting you know this great
Yeah.
campaign that we have every year.
And you know what? It's so good that the call continues to do that because
Absolutely.
it started back in 1932.
Yes.
and it originated
At the call.
And at
Yes.
the time, there were no radio stations in Woonsocket.
No.
Yeah,
There were very few radio stations in Rhode Island, but we won't go there. The point being that became Woonsocket's pet project.
Yes.
The first year was the first. Well, it was the Depression. It was 1932.
Yeah.
Stock market crashed in 29, and you know all of the 30s were basically depression years, and there were very few government programs back then,
Yes.
and a lot of people asking, with everything they do now for people, why don't they just get the money from the government, like all the welfare and whatever, and it's not like that because there are some people who do not qualify for that.
That is correct.
And
so this is why we have this program.
Exactly. And there are a lot of families that are struggling this year, especially. A lot of grandparents are raising their kids, and,
Yeah.
and they don't qualify for welfare. Well, they might, but most don't. And anyway, this is the program that is administered by. I believe it's Family Resources, I'm pretty sure, and it's done, and we want to thank Lisa again, Lisa Casper. I think I heard yesterday was her 6th year as general chair.
I think so, yeah.
And she's also on our auction committee. She's a workhorse. So it was a pleasure meeting you, Al.
It was a pleasure
And thank
meeting
you for your
as
support.
well.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very
and
much.
I'll be here, next week, same time, same place.
All right, Em.
Everybody have a safe and happy
Yes.
weekend.
I'll be listening.
We will.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks.
Now, Romeo, you got another event
Yes.
that's coming up for Milk Fund?
Yes. There's an event coming up this evening. It's called Bugged Out Barbecue. It starts at 5 o'clock. Actually, it's late afternoon. It goes into early evening till 7:30. And you come and enjoy a variety of delectable soups from all these local restaurants. Of course, Bugged Out Barbecue, St. Joe's Veterans, Grumpy's, Adeline's, Savini's, Pomodoro, the official sponsors of the Saturday show. Ciro's Tavern, their sister restaurant. Cello's, they all have their own, sample of soups that people can take tonight. All include fresh garden salad and dinner rolls. And I'm pretty sure, I don't want to speak for the organizers, but I bet you they'll be selling tickets at the gate, at the door. What do you think, Joe?
I think so.
Yeah.
We don't want to turn anyone away. And how much?
How much are they? $20. But it's all you can, there's 1, 2, 3, I count 7 different samples of soups. Onion soup, roasted chicken noodle soup from Savini's, pasta fagioli, is that how you say it, from Cello's? Anyway.
Pasta fagioli?
Fagioli, yeah. I
You're
pronounce
French,
it-
I
I
understand.
pronounce it my way. But, anyway, Onion soup is a French soup, isn't it?
Yes.
Oignon. That's how you say it. Okay. Now, you could get tickets before you go. You can get them here. You can get them at St. Joe's Vets, of course, and Universal Cuts at 614 North Main Street. It's another big fundraiser for the Milk Fund, and we hope to see a lot of people there tonight. Soup for supper.
Where does it take place?
St. Joe's Veterans, 99 Louise Street in Woonsocket, near the Cumberland line, but it's officially in Woonsocket. Everybody knows what St. Joe's Veterans is. It's kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but there are signs that lead you there from Cumberland, coming in from Cumberland, or from Woonsocket on Cumberland Hill Road.
Excellent. All right.
Yep.
All right, Romeo. Anything else going on with the Milk Fund that we need to be aware of?
Well, as far as I know, as I said, things are going really good. Of course, we do the auction on Saturday morning. And we started, unofficially at 6, but by the time we get things going, it's closer to 7 because we want to make sure people are awake. But we're doing well, too. We've done 2, and we're going to do 2 more, and we'll be listening to your auction every day. And as I said, it seems to be, from what I can gather, one of the most successful auctions. And when Dave decided to change the time from this time, Coffee Ant, about 2 or 3 years ago, he was very, concerned, a little bit hesitant.
Is it going to work?
Those are all good words.
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
of course. And it's turning out to be one of the best choices.
One of the better decisions I made.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
All right.
And of course, your help is very much appreciated as well. I'm sure he's happy you're here.
Well, gives them less to do.
Well, it's really well organized, and it's great to have a guest auctioneer every day as well.
It is, and today's guest auctioneer is State Senator Roger Pickard.
Oh, yes, I heard that.
Will be joining us.
And of course, he's a good guy, too. And he's donated to the Milk Fund before, not only in time, but in items and gifts. And we appreciate that very much from anybody who's donating. As a matter of fact, again, we don't want to make it sound like we didn't get enough, but we certainly want to have enough to last
finish
us until the 23rd, which is the official last day of the auction. And the best way to do it, again, for us, we devised this little method about 2 years ago. It started slowly. Now it's going into full gear. Make a donation to the people. Send money to the Milk Fund. They just, if they don't put Milk Fund auction on the memo line, it goes into the
General fund.
General fund. Yeah. And unless it's meant for the auction, and we're not gonna use it. For
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But the address again is 985 Park Avenue, Woonsocket, Rhode Island, 02895. So anyway.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
So other things as you're here, Romeo, so you might as well get your opinion. Xander Bogaerts goes to San Diego. He took the money and ran.
I figured he would. And who's the new pitcher they got? I heard
Jensen.
there was a talk yesterday. I heard
They signed someone for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, what's your opinion about that?
Well, we talked about it earlier today, so not much has changed from an hour ago.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm surprised San Diego gave a 30-year-old man an 11-year deal. Like,
can you say Tom Brady?
Not everybody's Tom, and
I know.
he'll be 41 at the end of the contract. As I mentioned earlier, baseball players peak at about 28.
Yep.
So between 28 and 33, that is their peak time when they're playing at their top of their game.
Yep.
Okay, Xander's got a couple of more years. But after that, he's going to, the bat speed's going to start to slow down.
Yeah.
The knees are going to start to creak. He might not have his range anymore. And what happens when he's 38 and 39?
Well, he'll still be collecting his checks if he has
Well,
an
he will
11-year
be.
contract.
No, they have guaranteed contracts in Major
Unless
League
he
Baseball.
unless he moves again and comes back to the Red Sox.
Well, unless they
which I
trade
doubt.
him, but I don't think they will. But
No.
I'm not surprised. And
Yeah,
I'm also not
yeah.
surprised that the Red Sox did not offer him
Yeah.
11 years. They said,
No.
you must be, no.
No.
I don't know what their offer was, but it was, from what I've read, it was nowhere near what the Padres offered.
And as we know, the Boston Red Sox and the New England Patriots did not have a good year. I don't think they did. And I don't want to switch into the Patriots, but before you go, I just wanted to touch base with you, no pun intended, that's baseball, on your feelings about the quarterback. You're not happy with the new quarterback.
No, with Mac.
Yeah.
No.
You've probably expressed that
I have.
on the air, but more
and-
specifically, even when he wins a game, you're not happy. What's going on, Joe? It's true because
Well-
it wasn't caused by him. I understand that.
It's I don't know. It's his style. It's
Yeah.
whenever he drops back to pass, every time I'm worried.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he sees the field as well as he used to, and he gets tackled way too easily. And when he does throw, the passes are not crisp. We've been spoiled. I'm used to Tom Brady firing the ball in a straight line. This lofting to whoever might catch it is driving me crazy.
But a lot of the sports writers are blaming Mr. Patricia.
Well, they
They're
do.
not happy with him.
They're not happy with the play calling, and even
he's not in
even
where
Jones.
he belongs. He's playing the other side.
Jones, even Jones has said, "Why aren't I getting the plays to throw the ball more?"
Yeah.
Well, you really shouldn't criticize your coach in the press.
No, of course not.
But he decided to do that, so we'll see if things happen. I do think the Patriots win this coming Monday
All right.
night
What's your
against
prediction?
Arizona.
Yep.
It is so tough to tell. Give it a 24-14.
I'm gonna write that down.
Easy enough. But then I think they lose in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that game's been moved, by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh?
It was the Sunday night game, but you got two teams that are barely. One's not going to make the playoffs. That's the Raiders.
Okay.
Maybe the Patriots make it, but they're going to put another marquee game there, so they move them out of
So even if the Patriots make the playoffs, what's going to happen after
Oh,
that?
they'll just
the
lose
first
right
game.
away. Yeah,
of course.
So, and then they lose to Buffalo and Miami again. So
right.
that's my prediction. They
Well-
get one more win, so that puts them at what 7-8,
Yeah.
7-7.
Barely about 500.
So right around 500.
Yeah, but you know what? Wait till next year.
It's going to have to
For
be.
both teams. Meanwhile, the Celtics and the
Celtics and Bruins are
doing
playing
great.
both playing
Yeah.
great. So
They are.
we're very happy with that.
2 out of 4 ain't bad. Okay.
All right, Romeo, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Joe.
All right.
And again, hope to see a lot of people tonight at the supper, the soup for supper at St. Joe's.
Very good.
And again, make those donations to the Milk Fund auction.
Right here, drop them off, 985 Park Avenue
Or
in
mail 'em,
Woonsocket.
sure.
Or mail them. Thanks to Emily Haney-Sheehan who joined us, and next week Bob Lotta should be here as well. I'm Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone, and stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember at 9:30, Milk Fund auction at 4 this afternoon.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio.